Hey everybody, welcome to Unlocking the Magic. I'm Connie and I am your host today along with my awesome co-host / husband. We are here to talk about our recent food reviews at Walt Disney World.
Well, thank you so much for saying I'm your awesome husband. I appreciate that, and thank you for welcoming me to your podcast.
Okay, keep going.
Listen, that's fine. I like
right.
it. Everybody likes it. You're the star of the show. I'm just along for the ride.
No, that's not true.
But we're going to talk about some of the food we ate.
Yeah.
In our recent trip to Walt Disney World, and we ate at a whole bunch of places. We made it a goal to be like, you know what? We kind of talk about the same things every time. And we wanted to make it a goal to talk and try new experiences. So that's what we did on this one.
Or experiences that we haven't had in a long time.
Yeah, some are new because, listen, it's hard to make a dog have new tricks, right? Like, I got to do my thing. But
teach a dog.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
But we wanted to kind of do some new things, but also we like our old experiences that we enjoy.
I mean, it's hard to not pass by some of your go-tos and then you get full on that and then you realize, wait, I really wanted to try something new this trip. But I think we did an overall decent job.
I agree. We went to a lot of different places in a short period of time, and no Tonga toast will be talked about except for now on this podcast. We're not going to talk about Tonga toast. I think it's been talked about quite enough. So we're going to talk about some experiences and go over the menu, what we had, the experience itself, and then we'll give it a grade, A through F.
But you know what hasn't been talked a lot about?
What's that?
Spam.
Oh, that's true.
Which you can get with the Tonga toast. But
and it's a little bit confusing because there's spiced ham and then there's ham.
Yes.
And I asked the waiter, I said, you know what? I want the spam, but it says ham and spiced ham. And he's like, that's spiced ham. He's like, spam, spiced ham. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but I didn't. But thank you for that. Now I will never forget it.
Yeah, it's true.
I said, why don't you just put spam?
I mean, it'd be easy, but maybe guests get confused.
Yeah, I did get confused. Yeah. I didn't know which one it was. I had to ask.
So the reverse is happening. So they should just put spam.
That's true.
For sure.
And this podcast is brought to you by us at Unlocking the Magic Travel. If you need some help with your trip, or if you want some information about a cruise, Adventures by Disney, Disneyland, Disney World, Universal, Orlando, or Hollywood, we can help you with that too. And
and if you're not traveling anytime soon, just sharing the show, sharing a review, all that is really great support for us. So we really appreciate it.
Stop on our food adventure was Skipper Canteen.
Jungle Navigation Company Ltd. Skipper Canteen. That's the full name, aka Skipper Canteen. I don't know anybody that says that full sentence, but yes.
Side entrance, baby.
We ate here finally because this was on our list. Just somehow it would never kind of coordinated with our schedules, but we finally made it here, and I'm so glad we did. We did the evening dinner. I think it was about a 5 o'clock seating. So we did the dinner, and this restaurant is a mixture of African, Asian, Latin. It's casual dining, just as a heads up. And pricing is pretty decent for Disney. It's
pretty average pricing. It's pretty average for what Disney charges on their menus. If you look at the majority of Disney menus, this is probably right in line with the average price of everything on the menu. They have a mix of salads, appetizers, entrees, desserts, and a lot of drinks and wines that we saw people enjoying while we were there. We weren't one of them, but we did see a lot of people enjoying them.
Yeah, it definitely looked good. And then the ambiance overall was pretty spectacular. Everything you probably are used to with the Jungle Cruise itself, it's sort of that, except in restaurant form. So that was kind of fun. I would say that overall, we can definitely do a deeper dive in this, but today we're just going to go quickly over the things we ate so that it's more of a quick overview.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about just real quick what we got. We can probably unlock and go into more of a dining review on a separate episode, or maybe even over on our YouTube channel where we show you what we had, but we're just going to give it an overall feel. We're going to go through these quick because there was a lot of them, and we're going to go through this one. So I got I actually think I got pork on this one. I got the Hearty Har Char soup pork.
You just wanted to order that because you liked the name.
I totally did. I just saw Hearty Har Char, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, but I'm getting it.
And I wanted a vegetable dish at this time, so I got a curried vegetable crew stew, that's fun to say, which is a seasonal vegetable, pineapple tofu, and a curry sauce with coconut rice.
We also got, for an appetizer, we got the Brazilian cheese bread, which I don't see on the appetizer menu, but we did ask for it. Mm-hmm. It was a special, I believe the waiter said. and it was great. The one thing, the waiters here are kind of like the waiters at the 50s Primetime Cafe, where they kind of joke with you. They have, it's almost like the skipper from the Jungle Cruise would be like, you know what? You can take the day off from the Jungle Cruise, but you're working in Skipper Canteen tonight. And they didn't turn off that part of the job where they were giving jokes and talking to you like that. They just kind of went from that boat to the restaurant, and it's the same way.
Well, talk about your dish real quick, and then I'll talk about mine, and then let's rate by the meal we had plus the ambiance. You guys know that is those two combined is what makes me really love a restaurant.
So mine was marinated pork tenderloin, and it had a sweet barbecue, not a barbecue sauce, but a barbecue style sauce on it, and it had pickled vegetables, which was a bok choy with some carrots and jasmine rice. And I actually really enjoyed. My pork was tender. I actually enjoyed my meal quite a bit. So I would totally get that again and suggest anybody who likes pork to get that as an option.
I had the vegetable cruise stew again. It was curried. It's a little spicy, so if spice is not your thing, I would suggest something else. I really loved, it's just so simple, but the coconut rice that's on the bottom is so delicious. And next time if I ordered it, I would want more. My favorite part, which I didn't even know I liked tofu until today, until this time, but it was the pineapple tofu that they made. It was like air fried almost, and it was just so crispy and so yummy. I could have had just a bowl of that with my rice and been a happy girl.
Yeah, you gave me a part of that tofu, and I was like, tofu?
You didn't think you would like it.
But you didn't tell me what it was, and I ate it, and then you told me it was tofu after, and it was really good. We also got the kungaloosh, which is like a chocolate, it was almost like a chocolate brownie with a little bit of caramelized bananas and caramel cashew ice cream on top. It was kind of small, to be honest with you.
Tiny.
They brought it over to the table, and I was like,
no, because we said we were going to...
Did somebody eat some of this on the way over here?
We said we were so full from having an appetizer that was bread and cheese based. We had plenty of things to drink, so we were getting into dinner full. Then we had dinner, and so by the time dessert rolled around, we said, let's just split something. And if I had known how small it was, I would
there was no splitting this.
It was really small. Yeah. Well, I even mentioned it to a cast member, and he didn't make a point to say that it's teeny tiny. I mean, I wish I had a visual to show you how teeny tiny. We'll have to share that.
It was smaller than a Post-it note.
It was small.
And then, but I'm surprised we didn't get the Panaconis Congo Lime Delight.
That was a missed opportunity right there. I don't think I was in the mood for mango lime sorbet, but yeah, next time Panaconis Congo Lime Delight.
All right, so overall, I gave this restaurant a B. I liked it a little bit more than you did, but I really enjoyed my time here, and I would go again.
I gave it a B- only because the portion of the dessert was a little laughable. I mean, you're paying it was like $10 or so for that dessert. So I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
True.
But definitely loved the food and the cast member. One thing I didn't like was I actually got a little bit of the sangria, and that was really small too. Like, it was filled with ice. Maybe next time suggest no ice or ice on the side, because by the time they put the fruit in there and the ice, it was probably like a little bit of a sip for me. And I'm not a big drinker, so it wasn't a lot, and I wanted more. So that's just something to note. And then I think they missed an opportunity to put some more animals in there. I don't know why I wanted that, but I wanted I wanted an elephant in the room.
Yeah, it did have a good theme. It kind of looked like the movie The Jungle Cruise, where in the beginning part where they're at that restaurant where the tiger comes in. It was pretty much like
just wanted a window to bust open, and all of a sudden there's like the lion come through. That would have been cool, but whatever. Overall, great. I think you should try it.
All right, next up on the list, we went to Boma. We went to dinner, which is a buffet restaurant inside of Animal Kingdom Lodge. And we ate there at night. We got a 7 o'clock dining reservation, I believe. And it was, we've eaten at Boma before, but we went there for Thanksgiving dinner a few years back. So it was a little bit different of an experience the first time we were there. We wanted to go try this out with its actual regular menu that you would get if you went there visiting on a non-holiday.
Yes, so Boma, Flavors of Africa. It's located in Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's pretty easy to get to, even though the lodge itself is farther away than most of the other resorts. But it was simple. You talk to the cast member, the guard in the beginning, and we told them that we had a reservation. Pretty easy to get to. So we had the dinner. It is a dinner buffet pricing. So it's $56 per adult and $33 per child. The one thing I would say is that make sure your child's an eater. There were so many disappointed parents with kids just having one little bite of something. And that, I think, as a buffet price, would really just be aggravating. But 33, I mean, you can decide, you know, if your child's a big eater or if maybe they want to explore some different things, this would be the restaurant because there's a ton of offerings.
But if your kid is a picky eater or you're a picky eater, this may not be a place I would choose to go. Because hello? Because if I did have a picky eater, the menu items were very, I don't want to say adventurous because they weren't super adventurous, but they were, I don't think someone who's a picky eater would be like, yeah, I'm going to eat here and be happy with everything that I ate.
Well, it's also $56, right? Plus tax and gratuity. So you really want to make sure that you're spending your money wisely. So I think that if you were on the fence with that portion of it, there's plenty to offer. But if you don't love a lot of food with spices, that might be kind of something to think about for next time.
Right. So they had a carving station. They had steak. They had chicken on the bone. They had ribs. And then they had 3 or 4 different soups. They had a cold bar. They had some macaroni and cheese and some corn dogs for people who aren't super, you know, foodies or want to eat the adventurous stuff that they had there. But overall, I thought this was a good place. I don't know if I would go again. And I thought that the food was good, what they did have available. I don't know if they had enough variety for me for the price that they had.
I think a couple of things that we failed at is we ended up going to a later reservation. And I think that if we had gone earlier, we would have changed your opinion on a lot of it because by the time 7 o'clock rolled around, you're eating by 7:38. There's only so much food you can pack in before you feel like you're just too stuffed to try anything. And I think we failed at that because I think that we would have tried more things and been more satisfied. If you go on their website, they only have partial listing of everything they offer, and it's quite a big list. So definitely check it out over there, and you can see for yourself like what they have. And again, that's just like a small portion of it. So I think there's some things that we failed at. So I don't know if it's a fair opinion to really say we wouldn't go back. I think I would go back, but I would say I would do things a little differently.
I don't know if I would go back. I remember I enjoyed our Thanksgiving dinner a lot. Maybe I would do it that way or for breakfast. But overall, I give it a B-. This is not anything that has to do with the staff because they were amazing. It's more about the food itself and the options and the price. So B- for me.
I gave it a B to a B+. I think that because there's so many things to try and it gives you an opportunity to try so many things, I think that is awesome. I'm a huge eater, so I love having variety.
You know what, though? See, you say that. To me, I don't think there was that much of a variety.
Oh.
Like you say there was a lot to try, and I don't think there really was.
All right, well, hear me out. Spiced green beans with golden raisins, couscous and shrimp salad, corn pudding. They had lamb, pork, chicken, pasta. They had cauliflower salad. They have a variety of soups. I mean, how much more do you want?
I want more. You know what? One of my favorite things was when I was there was they had this cottage cheese little dish.
Yeah.
It was like cottage cheese, but it had it was almost like a fruit puree on top. It was like a spicy / sweet cottage cheese. And I was like, I'm just going to try that. And it ended up being one of my favorite things I tried there.
I noticed the one thing I did notice about you is that I think you like all you care to enjoy offerings, but I don't know if you like getting up to get your food. And maybe that's something to be said if you're going with someone that is introverted. It's not like you have to talk to really anybody, but when you're up there, it is a lot less personal feeling that you get when you get the big family platters as all you care to enjoy and not having to get up. So I think that affects Bruce's opinion too on a lot of things. I noticed that about you. And you don't eat as much as I do in one sitting. Like you eat all day, whereas I like to I prepare myself for one meal, and this was it. I just wish we went earlier. I think we went a little too, that was my fault. We just wish we went a little earlier.
All right, so I give it a B-.
Right.
You give it a B.
Ambiance-wise, that's an A. I mean,
the Animal Kingdom Lodge is amazing. You sit in the lobby there. You can also go up to the lobby after and sit there and kind of relax for 20 minutes because you probably won't be able to move that much after you eat all that food, but it was good. All right, let's go. The next couple are going to be quick because they're quick service, so we'll go through these pretty quick. We talked a lot about Pecos Bills on this show and how much I love the nachos. I'm going to tell you something. I got nachos there. I don't like them anymore.
Well, okay. And we also talk about on the show is that not every single restaurant, not every single quick service has an A+ day every day. There are times where we've had soggy waffles, chicken and waffles. There are days where we've had fantastic waffles. And so I think it's unfair to say you'll never go there again based on what I'm hearing is like you don't like it anymore. But I think it is important to kind of share what you experienced for sure.
I don't know if I'll ever not go there again, but I definitely won't be hyping it up because I don't want anybody to go there and get nachos like I got and be very disappointed with me.
One thing that I think changed was with the pandemic, they stopped the buffet style of toppings. So you used to be able to go and load up your toppings, and that was so satisfying. Like being able to really get a lot more salad mixture to put on your nachos, like really as much as you wanted, I think made it seem more hearty and more personalized.
Hearty hard char?
Made it seem more hearty hard char and more personalized to what you wanted and what you were in the mood for. Whereas now they hand it to you that way. So for that reason, I'm going to say it's a C.
Yeah, I agree. C-. I was very, very disappointed with what I got there this time. I'm not saying I'll never go there again. It's a great location. I like the seating, but I got sad nachos, and I never want to ever get sad nachos. You should never get nachos and feel sad.
Good point.
You know, you should feel nachos and be like, yeah, I got nachos.
You should say.
I got nachos and I felt sad, which is not a feeling I want. So some of the other things they have on the menu at Pecos Bills is they have cheeseburgers, a fajita platter, chicken rice bowl.
Which looked good. We didn't get that.
I got the beef nachos. Don't get those. And
for now.
Pork carnita rice bowls. Listen, if you want to go there and you want something different, try it out. I'm not saying don't go there. I'm just saying, like, I think it's gone down in grading, in my opinion, over the last couple trips. It was really good a couple years ago. The last couple trips, I haven't been super pumped with it. So I'm going to give it a C-.
Maybe they will change that setting again where you can add your own toppings. I think that would make it a lot better. And it was always clean. Like I'm really
they always have people in there cleaning. It's great.
Yeah,
the atmosphere is great. The food, not so great.
All right. Did we both rate it?
I gave it a C-.
I will agree with you on that.
I'm coming along to your side. I'm coming along to the dark side of Pecos Bills over there. You've never really been your favorite restaurant, and I have always been a champion of Pecos Bills until now.
Yeah, I don't know why it was never really my favorite. I can't remember why. I mean, corn doesn't really go well with me anyway, so maybe that's why it's like I think of stomach aches when I go there. But overall, it was always your pick, never mind. And the kids usually liked it there too.
All right, next on the list, we went to Columbia Harbor House, which we've talked about all along. So this is one of the things that we have talked about on the podcast many times in the past.
But we tried other things this time, so give us that.
We did. And the one thing that Columbia Harbor House has over every other restaurant is the seating. If you can get upstairs and kind of look out the window
we were leaving that
cranny of the whatever.
Nope.
See the haunted mansion. You can see people walking by. It's a great place. So listen, there's not a lot of people listening to this podcast. We're safe.
You should stay downstairs.
Yeah, stay downstairs.
Oh yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so Columbia Harbor House. Hard for me to say. Magic Kingdom in Liberty Square. It's always our go-to. We wanted to check it out again. We haven't been a couple trips, but we made a point to go this time. Still a little bummed that they haven't brought back the tuna fish sandwich. I know, lame. Like, who goes to Walt Disney World and gets tuna? But I'm telling you, it was really that good. But anyway, we did get some hush puppies this time, and I got the Sea Captain's fish sandwich.
Which was really good. The Sea Captain's fish sandwich was really good. The other thing that somebody else with us got the chicken strips, which was like, all right, you got to get chicken strips. And then we went twice. The first time we split the Sea Captain's fish sandwich.
Why did we go twice?
And then the second time, I was like, not in the mood. We were in the Magic Kingdom. I'm like, I don't want Pecos Bills. I had a bad experience. I don't want a burger. I don't want French fries. So I got the grilled salmon, and it's served with rice and green beans. And I have to say, it was kind of good. I was just looking for something a little lighter and fresher versus a fried item or a burger.
Yours looked really good. I tasted a little bit, and I was really surprised that you could get a good piece of salmon in a theme park. Like, I mean, the reality is you're in Magic Kingdom Park. So to be able to have something like that with rice and green beans and not weigh you down so that you can go and get a cattail after or any kind of goodness after. I think we got
a fruit waffle after.
I think we did.
I didn't want to.
We got a fruit waffle. We kind of do that. But I really loved it. I thought the portions were huge. I'm a big eater again during like my meals. I'm more of a meal person than a snack person. So having something hearty like the fish sandwich, I was like actually surprised on how large it was and how many French fries it came with. And the hush puppies, they're not a lot. I think they're around $5. It's not a whole lot, but you don't really need that many, I guess. I don't know. But they also had, if you're looking for something lighter, they had a really good-looking shrimp skewer.
I was going to say that. Someone next to us got the shrimp skewer, which also comes with rice and green beans, and it looked really good. So if salmon's not your thing, you can try the shrimp. And they also have that available for kids. So if you want your kids to try something that's different and not a chicken finger or a burger, this is a great option for that if they do like fish.
I love it here. I'm always going to rate it an A.
I rated it an A-. Okay. So that's the first A I got in the window.
All right.
Well, on my ratings. Okay. Next up, Via Napoli pizza window.
Oh.
Which a lot of people ask me about pizza. If you know me, I like pizza. I'm very
pizza
outspoken
forward
about pizza, whether it's good or bad. Via Napoli inside pizza is vastly better than the window pizza. But if you're in a pinch and you don't want to sit down and you're like, I've spent a week, if you're like me and it's like, wow, it's been 4 days, I haven't had pizza.
You were like having withdrawals.
I'm having pizza withdrawals. So I was like freaking out. I needed to get some pizza in my system real fast. The window at Via Napoli is probably the best pizza you're going to find in a Disney park at the moment, other than inside Via Napoli.
In Bruce's opinion, which take that with a grain of salt.
I am the pizza expert.
I'm just kidding.
To Disney food.
I was just
yeah. Find somebody else in the Disney community that knows more about pizza than me. I want to know them.
Eaten as much pizza as you around the world. I mean, I know that I can give you at least, but
if there's not a lot of things I can say about myself. I can guarantee I know more about pizza than anybody else that's doing a Disney podcast.
Challenge accepted. No, but seriously, I think that the ambiance in general is like pretty amazing. The Italy Pavilion is just so beautiful, especially at night. We went there when it was a day filled of Connie's must-dos. We kind of broke up this trip this time of doing a day of each's favorites. So
coming up on the podcast soon for each episode. That'll be a podcast episode we do.
Are we really talking fast on this episode? I feel really hyper.
Probably.
Because it's all about food and I'm hungry at the moment. But so finally at the end of the night, you looked at me and said, can I just please have pizza now? And I said, you know what? You've earned it. You've done a day with me on all my favorite things, which may or may not, I don't know, be your cup of tea. But you did go to the window and got a pretty healthy sized pizza, which looks delicious. I didn't get a chance to have it. I think I was full from all the food booths that we did that day. But
my only concern with the pizza at the window there is it's a little bit of false advertising.
Okay, what's that mean?
They call it a Roman-style pizza, and it isn't.
So what is it?
It's like a grandma pizza. It's like the pizza your grandma used to make. The reason they call it grandma pizza is because the Italians used to have grandmas, like we all have grandmas, but the Italian grandmas used to make pizza at night, and they didn't have a pizza oven or a pizza stone. So what they would do is they would just take a cookie sheet, and they would take their dough and just press it out on the cookie sheet. And then they put some sauce on there, maybe some Parmesan or Romano cheese or mozzarella on the top. And then they just cook it in their home oven. So that's why it's called the grandma pizza. That's kind of the style they serve there. So it's more of a pan pizza, so to speak. A lighter pan pizza, grandma style. It's not Roman. Roman is like real crackery on the outside, very airy. This is a little bit more doughy.
Gotcha. So for that reason, are you going down a grade?
For that reason, I'm out. No. No. I would say, yeah, my rating is pretty low on this. It's a C+.
Wow. But you're still getting it, which says a lot about pizza.
The only pizza in Disney I would not eat is Pizza Planet.
Gotcha.
This pizza is for the average pizza consumer will probably be like, that's pretty good pizza.
It's a pretty big slice for what you get, for what you pay for. So I think that makes it like a value, and it's comforting, right? Like after a day, maybe exploring all the different countries and maybe trying things out of your comfort zone in around the showcase,
or doing a day of everything your wife wants to do.
Yeah, or that.
Cuddle up in the corner with a nice slice of pepperoni pizza. That's what I wanted to do.
You did like hug it a little bit. Like I saw you kind of like embrace it.
I love you, pepperoni pizza. Leave me alone for 5 minutes and let me just consume this.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm a lot, especially in Epcot. But yes,
So I'm a tough reviewer on this. C+. For the average person, it's probably more of a B-.
I'm not going to review it because I didn't eat it, but I like Via Napoli. I like the window. I like the restaurant a lot. That's an A to me.
All right, let's go to the next one. So if you are looking for pizza, maybe head to the window if you can't get a reservation inside.
Okay.
The next one, we went to the Mexico Pavilion. We had La Cantina de San Angel.
Okay, let's say that again, but with better pronunciation.
Listen,
no, we're not going to try.
Look who you're talking to.
Okay.
I can barely pronounce words I know how to say.
These are Mexican favorites, tacos, barbacoa, and pinatas. So many great things that I always go here. It's like a comforting thing for me. I know pizza is your thing. This is probably mine. The empanadas I actually dream about here because they're just really yummy. And I don't necessarily find them that quickly near home. So
you know what, too? We tend to not go here as much as we would like to.
Maybe that's it.
Because a lot of people, when they go to the World Showcase, skew to the left. And this is a small alleyway as you're heading through the Mexico Pavilion, and it gets kind of tight, and it's generally really busy here. And I don't love the way that they have it set up now, where you wait to go order. It's almost like you got to wait before you wait to order, before you wait to sit down. It's a 3-step waiting process.
I think for that reason, my rating goes down a little bit. The food, I always find everything is an A. Like, I'm always happy with my go-to is the empanadas or the nachos here. Really delicious. But I think for the reason of it's always crowded and tough to find a seat, I think for those 2 reasons, I always have to mark it down to like a B+.
Yes. But, and if we just happened to luck out this last trip where there was no wait to get in.
Yeah, which that's rare.
It was so rare, but I was so lovely at the same time, and I enjoyed it so much. And that's probably why my rating went up a little bit, because of the circumstances of not having to wait to get in, not having to wait to order, and getting a table right along the water.
Oh, man. Heavenly.
So
I didn't want to leave. I looked at you and I said, should we just sit here until the fireworks happen? Like, can we just eat slowly? And you're like, that's 2 hours away.
It was kind of rude, too, if we did that.
I'm just kidding. I know, but I was, listen, I had the thought, is what I'm saying.
So did I. I was thinking about it. If it wasn't 2 hours away, we would be sitting there for sure. I gave this B+. I actually really enjoyed this.
I really love it.
Empanadas. I got nachos here as well. Better than Pecos Bills for sure.
Oh, yeah. I always say it's an A. I would say the rating goes down, again, just because the expectations of it being busy is like beyond. I mean, you really have to know that this is always a packed place. So it's hard. It's hard to I don't want to give the expectations of an A and make it even busier.
Right.
It's hard. But
the circumstances for me made my grade go up because there was nobody there. If it was busy, I probably wouldn't even have went in.
Okay. Moving on to the Yorkshire County Fish Shop. Now, talk about
a miraculous recovery.
Because, again, like I said earlier, like I think I've said in other podcast episodes, you never know. Like, sometimes, just like with any local restaurant, you're going to have days that are, a miss. And it's just, just an unfortunate circumstance. Maybe they got a bad batch of something or whatever. Should it happen? No, especially when you're paying X amount of money for the type of food that you're ordering or the price to get into Epcot, but it happens. Now, we had ruled off Yorkshire County Fish Shop because a long time ago we ate here. It's a quick service in the World Showcase, and we ordered the beer battered fish and chips, but the fish was too fishy and it was almost chewy.
It was way too fishy. When you get fish, listen, it's fish, right? So it's going to taste a little fishy, but it shouldn't taste overly fishy or smell fishy. Generally, that means it's not high quality or good.
It definitely turned us off so much that we never ever bothered to eat here again. And this trip, we decided, you know what? Let's just share a beer battered fish and chips, give it another shot.
Yeah, because so many people from our podcast were like, this is amazing. That's my favorite place to go. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, did we just have a bad experience?
And turns out we did.
Because it was really good.
It was really good. Again, we ordered the fish and chips and we had a great, I think that's the other thing about this place is that there's plentiful seating that makes it easy. So you're getting something and you're sitting right away. So you're not sort of worried about where to go with your food. And that, I don't know, that bothers me in Epcot. Like because it's so crowded, I don't want to spend $15 on a French fry and have to eat on the trash barrel. Like I just don't want to try to, even though they're great trash barrels and very clean, it's not something that I dream about when I go to Epcot. So here,
listen, I don't understand people eating on trash barrels because it's like, it's still a trash barrel.
Hey, I'm not judging.
Regardless of how clean it is, it's trash in there.
I'm not going to judge, do you? But I would say that this one here makes it easy. Our fish was flaky, delicious. We did the vinegar on the French fries. We did the lemon juice on the fish. I have it all set up correctly. And I really enjoy myself. I will definitely be going back. I'm giving it an A.
I'm going to give it an A-. Because I agree with you. The minus was because my last time was so good, I got to go one more time.
To really make a difference.
So I've gone twice now. And one was horrible. One was great. So the next one will be the final decision maker. Okay. If I go next time and it's great, I'm going to be like, that's going to be on my list. Because I do like fish and chips.
I love fish and chips.
So if I go next time and it's good, I'll be like, all right, I can consider this place a place that I can go to and know that I'm going to get a good product.
And to be fair, just like with pizza, like we feel like pretty confident in saying what's good or not. We also live in New England, to be fair, and we have a lot of seafood here.
Right.
We're known for seafood. So when we're going to Disney and we tried the fish the first time, we weren't really too excited because our expectations were high, but also it just wasn't good. But I'm changing my tune. All right, next up, the crepes. Now we went to the La Crêperie in Paris in the World Showcase, but we did the window. We didn't do the dine-in, the table service restaurant.
Which is unusual to me. I didn't know that there was a table service creperie.
So it can be deceiving because a lot of places in the Magic Kingdom or other parks, like you can get a quick service, but there's still indoor type seating. So this one, it's right next to each other. So my brain automatically says, well, I'm going to get my crepe and I'm going to go sit down in the cool air conditioning and enjoy it. Where I didn't realize is, no, that's actually sitting for the dine-in reservation. So that was kind of a bummer. I don't know why that went over my head the last few trips, but here we are. And we actually asked the cast member which crepe to try, and they suggested the hazelnut one.
Which is great. Like if you are out and you're like, you know what, I don't know, I'm not sure which one to try, ask the cast members because they may be from that area, but they also have probably tried everything on the menu, and you can ask them for their favorite one and go from there.
So it was a pretty decent sized crepe. We shared it again just to be able to fit all this food in one day. It was a hazelnut chocolate spread. We didn't get the whipped cream on top. I think that's an indoor type thing, which I think that was what was missing in mine.
Yeah, it was definitely missing something. It was a little I don't know. It was a meh. It was a meh.
It was a meh.
It was a meh.
To be fair, it was hot and we sat near the water, but it was like no breeze that day, and you're eating a crepe, and for some reason Paris, that section with ratatouille being the go-to attraction, it just felt a little bit condensed.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, well, it was crowded, and so you're trying to enjoy your crepe while you're hot and sweaty, and it's just that, for that reason, I think it will go down a level for me, so I'm gonna give it a C. And I also wish I had the whipped cream on top because I think that would have really made it enhance the flavor. And maybe if I had gotten the berry, I actually think I'm more of a red berry kind of creper. Yeah. So that's kind of what I think I liked. So I wish I got that one. But overall, I would say that's the score.
I agree. I gave it a C- because mine was meh.
Meh.
And I was like, meh, this isn't. Probably won't go get another one. Like I always judge it as.
Will you go back?
There's three categories, right? This is amazing. I'm going to go back for sure. There's one that's, okay, it was okay, but I probably won't go back. And then the bottom one is, this is terrible, and I'm going to tell everybody it's bad.
Yeah, but to be fair, again, think about how many times we have experienced something once and then have gone back and realized, wow, they were just having a bad day. So,
but the only time I'll ever do the third category of this is bad and I won't tell you, if everything's bad, the food's bad, the experience is bad, the ambiance is bad, and the service is bad.
I mean, I get that with like even sci-fi.
Very rare occasion.
Yeah, sci-fi dining theater, people will be like, the food isn't that great, but I'm like, yes, the ambiance and where else are you going to go in an indoor theater like this and really feel like you're in a drive-in? So
yeah, it can bump it up. It's like when you have a test at school and everybody does horrible and the teacher grades on a curve.
There you go.
Right? Like sci-fi's food's graded on a curve because the atmosphere is so great. It gets bumped up a few points.
Okay, last but not least, well, it is for today's show, the Regal Eagle Smokehouse Craft Drafts and Barbecue. Why are these names so long?
They are very long. And this is the first time we've eaten here because I'm not a barbecue person. I don't know why I'm not a barbecue person, but it's not something. There's so many great places to eat in Epcot. Barbecue is not one of the places I'm like, I got to go have barbecue at Epcot.
So wait, should we even rate this then?
I'm going to rate it. Oh, okay. I rate everything I do.
All right. Well, it was so good. Okay. I love cornbread and anything with barbecue sauce. So it's difficult for me to give a low score, but we got the North Carolina chopped smoke. All right, hold on. North Carolina. Nah, oh my goodness.
Okay,
thank you.
North Carolina chopped smoked pork butt platter.
Phew.
It's a lot of words in that one appetizer or entree.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But it comes with chopped pork butt, garlic toast, served with your choice of sides. I think I got. I feel like you got to get mac and cheese when you get sides.
You got to get mac and cheese.
And baked beans and with burnt ends. You got to get those as well. And then, of course, Connie said the atmosphere is the atmosphere, right? It's very American in there. It's very open, picnic tables. Almost like It almost feels like a cafeteria style environment when you're in there. And I thought it was a good place. I rated it a B. I enjoyed my meal. I thought the pork butt was very good. The sauce was tangy. The mac and cheese was just like regular mac and cheese that you'd see at any Disney restaurant. So I don't think it was amazing. But overall, if you're in the mood for barbecue, it's kind of similar to like if you're in the mood for pizza. Like I'm not a barbecue connoisseur like I am for pizza. So if you are a barbecue connoisseur, I don't know if you'd give this a huge rating. But to me, if you want to go get some barbecue and you're in Disney, this is a decent place to do that.
I liked it overall. I thought it was good. I think there are so many other places that I prefer in Epcot that I'm going to go to first. So I don't know if I'm going to go back anytime soon. But I thought it was really decent. I thought it was very flavorful. The fries were a little everything had its spice. So maybe they could do one item that wasn't super spiced up to make you feel like you're going into like the next portion of your dish, whereas like kind of at some point everything tasted the same, which I don't love that. So I'll give it a B. I will say it's definitely a great spot if you're in the mood for barbecue and you're not so sure where to eat in Epcot. I think it's great, but I like so many other places that I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah, it's tough to rate places too, right? But barbecue is one thing. Like when you go to Disney, you have to take into consideration how many people they're feeding at these restaurants, because that's hard to do. It's hard to create great quality food at scale, except for barbecue, because barbecue is like made for scaling. Like you have to make all of your barbecue at one time because it takes forever to cook. So if it's probably the one restaurant that's most made for the amount of people that eat there. Like making pizza for 1,000 people is really hard. Making barbecue for 1,000 people, if it's just smoking all the barbecue meat, it's kind of, you got to watch it. It takes a long time, but it shouldn't be that difficult.
Well, that's going to do it for our quick reviews. We'll stay tuned for some episodes that we'll unlock each restaurant. Maybe not the Regal Eagle anytime soon, but maybe we will go through the list and unlock some additional restaurants as well.
Yeah, definitely the sit-down restaurants like Skipper Canteen and Boma will go back and unlock and do more full reviews and go over each menu item in more detail and exactly who it's for and who should go there, because those deserve it. The quick service ones are the quick service ones, right? But the sit-down restaurants deserve, because they're expensive, and you need to know what you're getting into before you spend all that money.
Well, that's going to do it. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and supporting the team and all of that.
Yeah, head over to clubutm.co if you want to join us inside Club UTM for some extra podcasts and live shows and some fun inside the Facebook group as well. But if you're not on Facebook, you can hang out inside there as well. And we also have some T-shirts available. We're going to be working on more of those over at clubutm.co. But I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Got to go grab a snack.
All right. See you next time.